In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 college basketball games happening on November 4th, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Evansville versus Purdue. We have an in-state matchup on Tuesday night as two programs from Sycamore State square off. Last season, Purdue began with 3 convincing wins over mid-major teams, though none were by more than 22 points. The current spread is quite large, yet the Boilermakers showed last year that when they found their rhythm, they could dominate top conference opponents, winning some by 30 points or more. After the way the previous season ended, the team is likely motivated to open strong and make a clear statement. No other team in the country returned as much core talent as Purdue, which gives them a distinct advantage early in the schedule when most programs are still adjusting. The Boilermakers return their top 3 scorers from last season, forming one of the most experienced units in college basketball. On the other side, the Purple Aces bring back a player who was only their 4th leading scorer a year ago, leaving them short of reliable offensive production. Evansville struggled to compete throughout last season, while Purdue more than doubled their win total and remained nearly unbeatable at home, losing only 2 of 16 games at Mackey Arena. Offensively, Purdue averaged 11.3 more points per game than Evansville, a team that finished in the bottom 20 nationally in scoring. Entering this season ranked number 1, the Boilermakers have earned that position through both returning experience and consistent execution. Early in the season is when such veteran teams often perform their best, while rebuilding programs like Evansville tend to need more time to find structure and chemistry. The Purple Aces also lost key pieces from last year's roster, which further limits their upside in this opening matchup. As our first pick for this matchup, the Purdue Boilermakers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. This contest also highlights the distinct offensive pace differences between these teams. Purdue finished last season ranked 7th in adjusted offense according to KenPom, and that same offensive core is back with another year of experience. Their offense runs efficiently but deliberately, as head coach Matt Painter prefers to slow the pace and maintain control. The team ranked 300th in tempo last year, which often forces opponents to play at their rhythm. Evansville, on the other hand, ranked 318th in adjusted offense and 211th in tempo. The Purple Aces lost their top 3 scorers, leaving a significant scoring gap that could be difficult to fill early in the season. In this matchup, Purdue is expected to build an early lead that allows the starters to rest, which can slow down the scoring pace late in the game. Evansville's likely offensive struggles will also play a role in keeping the total lower. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total, is our full game total pick. Nicholls State versus Kentucky. The Nicholls State Colonels and the Kentucky Wildcats will meet Tuesday at Rupp Arena for a college basketball showdown. Nicholls enters the season with strong potential. The roster features a core of returning players along with several promising new additions, creating a blend of experience and upside. This group appears balanced across positions, giving the Colonels flexibility on both ends of the court. The main question will be how quickly the players connect and adapt to game speed. If chemistry develops early, Nicholls could build momentum in the opening stretch of the season. Still, this first test is about as challenging as they come. Facing Kentucky on their home floor rarely offers much margin for error. As our first pick for this matchup, the Nicholls State Colonels to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Kentucky, on the other hand, begins the year in a familiar position, expected to contend once again. The Wildcats bring in a deeper and more talented roster compared with last season's group. Despite notable roster turnover, the coaching staff remains intact, and the system in place should provide continuity. This version of Kentucky may not rely heavily on outside shooting, but their size and depth give them an edge in most matchups. The standard of play is expected to be high, and the team has the personnel to meet those expectations. Last season, Kentucky averaged 84.4 points per game, ranking 7th nationally, while allowing 77.2 points per game, which placed them at 315th. The Wildcats shot 48.2% from the field, good for 27th, and 37.5% from three-point range, placing them 28th. At the free throw line, they converted 73.1%, ranking 135th. They collected 38 rebounds per game, which was 237th, handed out 16.9 assists per game, ranking 20th, and committed 10.9 turnovers per game, ranking 98th. Nicholls State, by comparison, scored 74 points per game last season, ranking 167th, while allowing 69.6 points per game, which placed them 93rd. They shot 42.8% from the field, ranking 285th, and 34.6% from beyond the arc, ranking 149th. From the free throw line, they made 68.5%, which ranked 333rd. On the glass, they averaged 37.8 rebounds per game, ranking 67th, along with 11.3 assists per game, ranking 333rd, and 10.6 turnovers per game, ranking 71st. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. UNC Greensboro versus Kansas State. The UNC Greensboro Spartans and the Kansas State Wildcats will face off Tuesday at the Enterprise Center in a college basketball matchup that highlights two programs built on very different strengths. Kansas State enters this contest as the more talented roster, led by one of the nation's top scorers. The point spread reflects that advantage, and it makes sense given the difference in individual skill and athleticism between the two squads. Still, UNC Greensboro has built its success on structure and discipline rather than star power. The Spartans are guided by Mike Jones, who has developed the team into a consistent and competitive program. His players defend well, execute within their system, and rarely appear unprepared. This matchup offers them a stage to measure themselves against a power conference opponent, and that motivation alone can sharpen focus and energy. Kansas State, on the other hand, approaches this as part of a long season filled with similar games. The Wildcats have the firepower to take control early, but mental lapses and lack of urgency could leave room for a slower start. If that happens, UNC Greensboro has the coaching and composure to take advantage. Both teams bring distinct strengths, yet the difference in mindset may shape how the game unfolds. As our first pick for this matchup, the UNC Greensboro Spartans to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Kansas State enters with clear advantages in size, depth, and individual scoring ability. Their leading scorer is one of the most efficient in the nation, and the supporting cast provides balance on both ends of the court. However, Kansas State's defense tends to dictate tempo, forcing opponents into half-court sets where possessions run longer and shot opportunities become limited. The Wildcats often lean on their defensive intensity early in the season, using it to set rhythm before the offense fully clicks. UNC Greensboro, meanwhile, plays with a disciplined approach. Mike Jones has built a system that emphasizes defensive structure and smart shot selection. The Spartans typically keep games within control by slowing the pace, contesting perimeter looks, and forcing opponents to work for every basket. While their offense can produce in spurts, their success often comes from turning games into grinded-out battles rather than shootouts. Given both teams' tendencies, this matchup shapes up as one where defensive execution outweighs offensive fireworks. Long possessions, physical rebounding, and steady defensive pressure could keep the total lower than expected. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Lindenwood versus Texas Tech. The Lindenwood Lions and the Texas Tech Red Raiders face off on Tuesday in college basketball action at United Supermarkets Arena. Lindenwood lost some key contributors in the offseason, with guards Reggie Bass and Markeith Browning moving on after averaging 12.2 and 12.5 points per game, respectively. Despite those departures, the Lions still feature a solid roster that holds plenty of potential for the upcoming season. They return 6 players, including 2 of their 3 leading scorers from last year, which gives them some stability and experience. This group has a realistic chance to climb above the .500 mark and compete meaningfully in the Ohio Valley Conference. Texas Tech, on the other hand, enters this matchup with expectations to remain strong even after significant roster turnover. The Red Raiders are somewhat young and thin in a few spots, which could test their consistency as the season unfolds. Still, their foundation appears solid, and their defensive approach continues to be their hallmark. The team is coming off a successful year and retains its top scorer, which provides some continuity. How quickly their new pieces blend in will shape their early season results. Texas Tech's defensive strength should influence the pace and rhythm of this contest. Lindenwood's returning core, including their two leading scorers from a year ago, will be tested by the Red Raiders' size and athleticism. The Lions' ability to stay composed and execute in a high-pressure environment will likely determine how competitive they remain throughout the game. Texas Tech clearly holds the edge in overall talent and depth, yet Lindenwood's experience and continuity could help them stay within reach as the game develops. As our first pick for this matchup, the Lindenwood Lions to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. This matchup brings together two teams built with very different strengths. Texas Tech enters with its trademark defensive discipline, but their offense has enough balance to push the tempo when needed. The Red Raiders return their top scorer from last season, which gives them a steady scoring foundation. Although the roster saw plenty of turnover, this new group includes several athletic pieces that can run the floor and create quick points in transition. Lindenwood, meanwhile, lost two of its primary guards from last season, both of whom averaged double figures, but the team still returns a core of 6 players, including 2 of their top 3 scorers. That returning experience should help them adjust to early season defensive pressure. The Lions also appear more confident offensively after improving their spacing and shot selection toward the end of last year. If they can move the ball effectively and knock down perimeter looks, they should find opportunities to score even against a physical defense. Texas Tech's pace under new leadership could be slightly quicker than in previous seasons, as they look to generate offense through forced turnovers and fast break chances. Lindenwood's offense, while not explosive, has enough rhythm to take advantage of open floor chances when Texas Tech presses. If both sides push the pace in stretches and convert at a decent rate, the scoring can add up quicker than expected. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Oral Roberts versus Oklahoma State. Kansas State meets Oral Roberts Tuesday night at Gallagher-Iba Arena, where the market has placed a sizable number on the home side, sitting in the range of 19 to 20 points, with a total near 158.5 as of this morning. Oklahoma State begins the season with a reworked backcourt under head coach Steve Lutz, who enters his second year looking to establish stability early. The Cowboys' guard rotation features UMass transfer Jalen Curry and LSU transfer Victorious Miller, 2 players capable of handling pressure and creating pace. Alongside them, experienced scorer Anthony Roy provides a reliable perimeter threat, while freshman shooter Ryan Crotty adds spacing and range that can stretch opposing defenses. Across the floor, first-year head coach Corey Barnett leads an Oral Roberts program entering a transition phase. After several years of strong offensive identity, Barnett has rebuilt the roster through the portal, adding immediate impact players such as Jack Turner, Lane Sparks, Ofri Nava, and 6'10" forward Yado Yamanuchi Williams. Each brings something different: Turner's steady scoring, Sparks' floor leadership, Nava's athletic energy, and Yamanuchi Williams' size and presence in the paint. There is also a layer of familiarity with former Cowboy guard Connor Dow now wearing an Oral Roberts jersey, adding an extra storyline to the matchup and giving the Golden Eagles insight into what they will face. Season openers often reveal uneven stretches as new lineups find rhythm, and this game is likely no different. Oklahoma State's October exhibition report showed 10 players logging double-digit minutes, suggesting the coaching staff is still experimenting with combinations and rotations. A few depth players sat out that game, reinforcing the idea that this roster remains in assessment mode. Oral Roberts, by contrast, has an experienced mix of players who can stabilize the tempo and find quality shots even against superior athleticism. In a setting where both teams are adjusting, the underdog's cohesion and shooting touch may allow them to stay within range, particularly in an in-state matchup that naturally carries extra motivation. As our first pick for this matchup, the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Last season, Oklahoma State averaged 73 points per game, while Oral Roberts averaged 73.3, combining for a figure that falls well below a total in the mid-150s. Early season games often lean slower as rotations expand and rhythm takes time to build. Oklahoma State's preseason comments about finding more consistency on offense signal a focus on shot quality and defense first, rather than running up the pace immediately. The Cowboys' new guards are learning to manage tempo under Lutz's system, which prioritizes prioritizes patience and structure in half-court sets. Oral Roberts' new system under Barnett also points toward a measured approach. The Golden Eagles are unlikely to rely solely on high-volume perimeter shooting as in past seasons. Instead, they may seek balance through controlled possessions, working inside-out to identify favorable matchups. As both teams evaluate depth and chemistry, the game could see long stretches of deliberate half-court play, limited transition chances, and defensive focus over tempo. With both benches expected to rotate widely in the opener, the pace may never accelerate enough to reach the lofty total set by odds makers. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.